Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're not too stressed out and you have all your Christmas shopping done and you are looking forward to spending time with family and eating amazing food. And then you're going to be ready for 2019 to crush it with the new you, new goals, new year. So, tonight's episode is going to be amazing. I'm really, really happy that you are here right now joining me. Thank you. My name is Krista Kathleen. I am a certified life, business, and sex coach. I am also a coach trainer for Inner Glow Circle. My assistant Mary is on right now as well. Hi, Mary. Thank you for being here. So, all right. So, tonight's topic is very near and dear to my heart, speaking up and giving zero fucks. And the title's a little bit misleading because we're actually not going to be giving zero fucks. We are going to be giving fucks. We're just going to be putting our fucks in the right direction, essentially, which means we're going to put our energy where it really matters. And I'm going to help you tonight with sharing my personal story of how this is something that I've struggled with my entire life, and working with some of the best coaches in the world, they've helped me to navigate this, to face it head on, and to be a much more powerful communicator, and to help me to feel worthy enough that my thoughts, ideas, opinions are valid and they should be shared. And so now I want to pass all that down to you as well, because I see a lot of women that struggle in this area, and a lot of the women that I coach currently, some of the work that we do is I help them to figure out what it is they really want to be saying with hard conversations. And I help them to craft that message and to find the confidence to speak up and say it clearly, because we need to be able to navigate difficult conversations in life, especially if we're going to be strong, powerful women. You don't want to be shutting down your voice. And honestly, I noticed with myself over the years that I was getting sick. And in particular, I was getting a lot of acne along here because I was so stressed because I wasn't ever speaking up. And the minute, this is so crazy, but the minute that I started speaking up more and using my voice, all the acne cleared up and went away, which is interesting because it's right by the throat chakra. So I really do believe that when we suppress something, that it's going to manifest in some other area of our body. And for me, it was always having breakouts on my face. Ashley, hello, welcome. Fred, Mike, so happy that you're here this evening. Yeah, so let us know if you're watching live or on the replay, what part of the world that you're watching from, and let us know what you do. We want you to be a part of this conversation because it's not fun when it's just me talking the whole time. So I want to hear from all of you as well. So feel free to chime in, ask questions, share comments, thoughts, whatever it is. This episode is all about you tonight. Okay, so let's get right into it. So this learning how to speak up, this is something that you can use in personal relationships with friends or family or a romantic love interest, or this is something that you can use in your business as well, with working with clients or team members, or in your career if you want to be able to speak up to your boss or to someone in a higher authority position. So this is something that's going to be really, really useful in all different areas of life. And so if you see me looking over here, I have notes. So that's why my eyes are going over there. Colleen, hi, welcome. So happy that you're here. Okay, so some different conversations that you can have that could be difficult to navigate is maybe expressing your feelings. This is really hard for people to do. This is hard for me to do for the longest time, again, because I felt that my feelings didn't matter. And again, I would just shut it. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I remember thinking that all the time. But guess what? Your feelings and emotions do matter. They matter a lot. Also, okay, so you might have an STD. This is actually a conversation I've been having with a lot of people in private lately, and they've been reaching out to me. They have, usually most of them have herpes, and they're trying to figure out how do I have this conversation with someone that I want to sleep with? So that's an example of how to navigate a difficult conversation. Also, another thing is if you want something, maybe you want a raise. So going to your boss and asking for a raise, that can be a very scary thing because you're in a vulnerable position and you're saying, this is what I want. And there's that potential that you could get rejected or turned down. You might want to open up your relationship or your marriage, or to bring someone in, or to try a new sex kink thing. That can be very scary to ask for that and start that conversation. You might disagree with someone. Oh my goodness, disagreeing, that's still actually a challenge for me. I'm still working on that, but I will share my thoughts with that tonight. Maybe you have to fire someone. That's a really hard conversation to have, right? Or you might want to ask for a divorce. So there's so many different possibilities, and there's a lot more than what I just brought up. I just wanted to give you some examples. But so I want to share something with you. So one of my favorite podcasts is by Amy Porterfield, and it's called Online Marketing Made Easy. And I'll put the link to this on my website when I load it on Monday. But it was podcast number 210, 5 Lessons I Learned from Shonda Rhimes. And Shonda Rhimes is the creator of Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and some other show. I don't watch any of those except Grey's Anatomy. Let me know if you're a Grey's Anatomy fan like myself. And I really liked this response that Shonda Rhimes had in this podcast episode. And it was basically how to have a hard conversation. And she said, no matter how hard a conversation is, I know what lies on the other side of that conversation is peace, knowledge, answer delivered, characters revealed, truces are formed, misunderstandings are resolved. Freedom lies across the field of the difficult conversation. And the more difficult the conversation, the greater the freedom. So I know, isn't that amazing? I know that it can be really scary to have a hard conversation, but you're going to feel so much better at the end of the day. And the person's going to respect you for having it as well. People really appreciate honesty. And so let's go through. Actually, you know what? I told you I was going to share I already shared some personal stories. Thank you, Allie, for all the love and the hearts and the thumbs up. So, for example, when I was a nurse, I was a labor and delivery nurse for 5 years, and I worked with a lot of doctors, and especially this one female doctor, she got under my skin, and she would just demand things from you. She'd be like, do this, do that. And half the time she wasn't right. She would just come rushing into the patient's room and start demanding me to do things. And she didn't even know what was going on. And it used to piss me off so much. And I just felt so disrespected. And I always shut down my voice. And I hate that I used to do that back in the day because I didn't have the tools, and I wasn't working with coaches back then to have the confidence to know that I could speak up and I could say something and I could let her know that I didn't like the way that she was treating me. But I didn't do this. And now I know that that is not acceptable at all. But so back then, I would just let people walk all over me. But so now, like I said, working with coaches, the screen just got really weird. So doing a lot of life coaching myself and working on my confidence, working on my worthiness. And, oh, my phone's going off. Sorry, let me put that down. That's distracting. And also, what else was I going to say? Sorry, guys. Oh, and so I've noticed now, and then with this formula that I'm going to share with you that Katie DePaula and I created together. So Katie DePaula is the CEO of Inner Glow Circle, the coach training company I work for. And she helped me to put together this amazing formula that I'm going to share and go over with you next. But so now what I do is I go through this formula when I know that I have to have a difficult conversation, and it makes me feel so much more confident and so much more better. And so I want to share this with you. And it's not scary anymore to have these difficult conversations. And I've seen it showing up in my romantic relationships as well. As before, when I was married before, which probably a lot of you know, but when I was married, I let him walk all over me, and I always like shut myself down. And now I don't do that in my relationships anymore. Like, I speak up when something's bothering me, and I say what I need to say, and I really partner together with the person, and it just feels so much better. I feel like I can be me finally. So, okay, let's go. Enough about that story. Let's go right into the 5-step formula. And I also wanted to let you know that there is a free worksheet that Mary and I created for you, and Mary is going to pin that to the top. It is also in the description section, and you should download it because it has the exact formula on it that we're going to go over, and it also has the journal prompts that we're going to go over as well. So it's a really great worksheet. So we would love, love, love for you to download that. And we've got some good comments here. Cool, cool. Yeah, I agree, Colleen. Honesty is the best way. Allie said, I can relate to this. I had some hard conversations. They're absolutely worth it. Good. Okay, that's good to hear. All right, so the first thing is that, so relationships are going to evolve because we're going to evolve. Our needs never stay the same. So you have to know that it's good when relationships change. You know, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, we got divorced because we changed. Well, change is inevitable. But what is the most important thing is knowing that the relationships are going to change, but that you share the same values at the end of the day. If you share the same values, then you're going to be able to navigate anything that comes your way, okay? So you want to make sure how you're showing up. So you want to show up committed to the relationship versus the end result. So this is what I was talking about before, is placing your fucks where they matter. So you're not really giving 0 fucks, you're placing your fucks where they matter. And I learned this from Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which I really like and recommend. So you want to be committed to the relationship and not the outcome. You want to stay unattached from the outcome. And a lot of times we get so worried about how the other person is going to react, and we can't control how they're going to react. They're going to react how they need to react. So we have to stop putting so much of our focus and attention on that, because if we focus on that, we're going to never say what we need to say. So you really want to show up committed to the relationship, being like, I want this to work. I want to co-create with the person. So you're going to hear me use this word a lot tonight. Co-create. That's something that I've learned in life coach training, and that's what we do with our clients, is we co-create. We create a plan together to get them from point A to point B. So you can do this in your conversations as well, and it's really powerful when you show up from that place. So the first thing is you want to get clear on what you want to say first. So it's probably a good idea not to be reactive and just, and I'm not that way anyways, but sometimes people can be like explosive and reactive, and they just say the first thing that comes out of their mind. I would really encourage you to slow down and get clear on what you want to say first. So maybe you take some you take some space, you take some time, and you go through and you journal and you write down all your fears and your feelings and your frustrations. And then you want to go through that and then edit that, and you want to eliminate or take out anything that could be coming from a place of like from hurt or from drama or judgment or leading with our egos. Okay, and it's okay to have those things. I don't want to tell you to not have them, to not have the feelings or reactions, but just know there's a place of showing up from love, and then there's a place of showing up from hurt and wanting to get revenge and leading with our ego. There's a big difference there. So also another thing is having a conversation with a trusted source. So that could be a good friend, it could be a family member, or it could be a coach. Again, like I said, I do a lot of this work with my clients already. They trust me and they trust my opinion, and they know that I'm going to help them to show up and have the most conversation, or the most powerful conversation possible. So that was one. Get clear on what you want to say. Number two is you want to set the energy and the time and the space. So you need to let this person know that you want to talk. And I'm going to read a little script here that Katie put together so you know exactly what to say. So you could say something like this: I need to have a difficult conversation with you. This has been hard to talk about, but I want to be honest with you. Because I'm committed to our personal or professional relationship, I've done a lot of work on my end to get clear, and I'd like to hear your thoughts and have a positive, forward-moving conversation with you. Right? So that's something that you could say that might not feel good to you. You can always put something in your words, but just be honest. Just say, hey, I'd really like to talk to you. There's something that's really important to me that I need to share. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Boom, that's it, right? And then you want to make sure that you create the appointment or the space to have this. So maybe that's sitting down, or maybe it's on the phone, or it's through email, or it's using a mediator, so someone who can help to navigate the conversation. So think for a moment here and let me know in the comments section, what is the way that feels best for you to have a hard conversation through the ways that I just listed? I'm trying to slow down more as I talk. I'm in Toastmasters right now and I'm learning how to public speak, and I'm working with a public speaking coach, and she's teaching me. She said, slow down when you introduce new concepts or you ask questions. So I start talking really fast when I do things like this. So let me know what works best for you. Do you like to be sitting down when you have the conversation? Do you like to have it over the phone? Do you like to do it via email, or do you need a mediator to have the conversation? For me personally, I love writing. I love writing an email to someone first to get my, I feel most powerful and like I can express myself through writing. And then I'll have the conversation afterwards. And I've had people tell me, oh, you're just copping out because you don't want to have the conversation face to face, but that's not true. That's what works best for me, and that's what I need. So, and then you want to remember that invite them into the conversation. We're not demanding here. Demanding and ultimatums, that people don't respond well to that. And I used to do this in my marriage. It was really bad. I would just demand all the time. And I got it from my mom. She does that. So invite them into the conversation. Again, lead with love. So number 3 is say what you need to say. So you don't need 100% clarity here. You can go into a conversation and not be entirely sure what you want or what you need. Again, it's that co-creation. So I was just helping a client with this the other day, and she said, I know that I need to have a conversation with this person, but I'm not entirely sure what it is that I need. I just know I feel this way. And I was like, that's great. That's all you need. And so we worked out a response together where she could go up to the person and say, hey, I want to have an important conversation with you. I'm not feeling so great right now about our relationship. I was hoping that we could discuss this more or figure out why I'm feeling this way. So see, again, you're like inviting that person in to like collaborate with you and to join you and to meet you where you're at, versus like demanding is like, we need to talk now. Like, this isn't working out, or, you know, something along, it's very like aggressive and intense and demanding, and people don't respond well to that. So, okay, also let me give you another script for this. So you could say something like, I'm ultimately committed to a healthy and positive work relationship, and I want to create that with you. What are you committed to? Okay, so that's something that you could say as well. What are you committed to? All right, number 4, We're almost done with the formula. Step away and create space. So this is something I learned recently, is that people need buffer time, and people are going to have emotional reactions, especially if you're telling them something new. I remember that when I started, I had a secretive life for 2 years when I was in an open marriage. And then I remember when I started opening up, and that's funny, but when I started talking about it, and people would have a reaction, and I assumed that that was them judging me. And I would get so upset and so frustrated. I was like, why is everybody judging me? And they weren't judging me. They were just like, in shock, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. And so if I would have known that ahead of time, that people need the buffer and the reaction time, I would have felt better. I would have felt more confident and more prepared to know that that could happen. Also, too, is that sometimes people need time to process. And remember that giving space is just another form of love. So yeah, if you tell someone something, like, let them know, like, and actually, here, let me read the script. Let me go back to the script. Say, I know this is new information. I'm going to give you some time to process it because I understand you may be feeling a lot of different ways. So that's perfectly fine to let people have their reactions. Don't take this away from people, and then step back for a little bit and then to let them know, like, I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to give you some space to think about this and let me know. It's kind of like a call to action, like in business. Let me know when you would want to talk about it again. Do you want to get tomorrow at lunch, sit down and go get lunch, and we can discuss this more. You might have to have multiple conversations, and that's going to go into our next thing. Is the fifth one is have follow-up conversations as needed. And so you want to make sure that you stay open, and it's okay to negotiate. Everything might not always go your way. It's not your way or the highway, right? You're committed to the relationship. And so there's 3 entities in a relationship. There's you, there's the other person, and there's the relationship. And each of those 3 things has needs. So your needs need to be met, the other person's needs need to be met, and then the relationship's needs need to be met. And when my coach explained that to me, I was like, oh, that is so helpful, right? That makes so much sense. And then if you decide to do polyamory, then you got more entities coming in. That's where shit can get complicated. It can be done, but it is complicated sometimes. But so, yeah, just stay open here. Stay unattached from outcomes. Surrender, let go, trust in yourself, trust in the relationship, trust that everything is going to work out the way that it needs to. And also know that your partner may come up with some good ideas too, that you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Or actually that even works out so much better. So that's it. That's the 5-step formula. And I just want to acknowledge you for being here right now and watching this. And if you try this, you're such a brave person. A lot of people will shy away from having hard conversations, and they'll ghost people, so the fact that you're like, okay, I want to start being more direct. I want to start speaking up more. Like, that's a really amazing and noble thing, and really brave and really bold and beautiful. And so I just want to make sure to let you know that I'm really proud of you. And I definitely want to hear, so keep me updated. You can write here on the comments section, or you can private message me on Facebook, but let me know if after you watch this, if you have a hard or difficult conversation and you use this formula and how it works for you. Okay, so keep me updated. Okay, let's move on to the journal prompts. So if you're in a space where you can write, get out a piece of paper and pen. If not, if you're like in the car or you're doing something around the house, then you can download the worksheet anyways, so it's pinned to the top, but you can always do this later as well. But I'd love to hear your responses, and you can type them in the comment section. And I just want to check in. So Colleen said, honesty is best, but a lot of people do not have good communication skills to be able to know that the honesty is not about the person you were speaking to, but about the person being honest. I see a lot of pretending going on because we try to fit into others' expectations. Ah, that's interesting, Colleen. A lot of pretending going on. Yeah. Could you give me a specific example for that where you've come across someone pretending lately? I would just love to know more about that. Hi, Leslie. Welcome. All right. Okay, let's go over our questions from the worksheet. So question number 1, where are you currently not speaking up in your life? And I have examples on the worksheet too, in case you're feeling a little stuck. So where are you currently not speaking up in your life? So the example that I used was, I don't speak up to people who are in positions that are above me. Working as a nurse in the hospital, I don't use my voice with doctors. So that was me when I was a nurse. And would love for you, if you're following along, to type in the comments section. Okay, so number 2, what is the number 1 fear holding you back from saying what you really need to say? What is the number 1 fear holding you back from saying what you need to say? And my example for that was, I'm afraid that I will get fired or scolded. So that's why I didn't speak up when I was a nurse. Okay, Colleen, you said one example would be when you invite someone to do something and they say probably or yes, but they have no intention of doing it. Oh gosh, yes. This drives me crazy because I used to be this person that did that. Because they're afraid to say no because they think the other person will get upset. Totally, yeah. I love that you actually brought that up. And so something that you can do if you're watching this video is you have permission to say no. And people appreciate that more than lying. And you may not know that you're lying sometimes too, that we may have the best of intentions. Okay, so for example, someone invites you to a party and you're like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. And you maybe are like, absolutely, 100%. And then the time comes around and you're feeling drained and you're like, I just don't want to be social right now. Maybe you're getting ready to be in your period and you're like, I just want to lay in bed. Like, just be honest with the person and message them and say, hey, I am so grateful you invited me to this party, but I am just feeling like I need to save my energy tonight, and I would love to come to the next party when I'm feeling more social. Or so there's that. Or if you say, yeah, like someone's like, do you want to come to the party? And you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll be at the party. And then you're thinking like, I'm not going to that party. Like, just be honest and just let the person know and just say, oh my gosh, thank you. That's so kind that you thought of me. But so you could say, that's not a priority for me right now. I love to teach my clients that the priority word is, going to parties right now, it's not a priority for me. The other things I have on my priority list is to spend time with my family or to get things done on my to-do list. But again, thank you so much for thinking of me. So again, this is a polite way to say no. And it's okay to say no. People would rather have you say no than to lie straight to their face. So I'm really happy that you brought that up, Colleen. Exactly, yeah. People are afraid that the other person will have a negative reaction. That's what we were talking about before, is we have to learn how to place our fucks where they matter. And you're right, if we say no, someone very well could have a negative reaction. But what I found is when we really lead with love and respect, a lot of times the other person won't have a negative reaction. And I don't want to jinx myself, but since I've learned how to communicate in this way and speak up more and, like I said, lead with love and respect, the other person feels like, I can just tell, like they feel like, okay, I appreciate her honesty. Like that's the feeling that I get from saying no when I do that. And again, but some people are going to react the way they want to, but we have to be energy snobs, right? We have to take care of ourselves first, and that's more than okay to do that, because something that I used to do too is, so I would say yes to something and I didn't want to let the other person down, and so then I show up to the event or the thing and I'm just resentful and I'm like, oh, I just don't want to be here right now. And that just doesn't make anyone feel good at the end of the day. You don't feel good. The other person doesn't feel good because they don't see you having a good time. So it's good to just kind of like prevent that ahead of time. And again, to just say no and do you. But it's a skill, and it takes training and practice, being able to say things like that. And that's why working with a coach is great, because they can help to train you in that area. All right, so let's go through number 3. What is the earliest negative memory you have from speaking up, and what happened? What is the earliest negative memory you have from speaking up, and what happened? Typing it here. So what is the earliest negative memory you have from speaking up, and what happened? And with me, it's my mom. There was a couple times I've tried to speak up to my mom growing up, and it was scary. She got really, you want to talk about being afraid of reactions. She was not able to handle that. So I kind of quickly learned, oh, it's bad to speak up because everyone's going to react the way my mom did. Leslie, you said the number one fear, ooh, I love this. The number one fear of speaking up to certain people in my family is that I will forever be shunned. But I have no idea why I'm so afraid of that, because I've been pretty much on my own since I moved away from home when I was 20. I am always being blamed that my husband and I don't come home to visit often because we are stationed on a Marine base in North Carolina, and they never come visit us. And now that I have my son, they always get on to me to come home so they can see my son. I really want to have the courage to just tell them the door swings both ways. Okay. Thank you, Leslie, for being honest about this and speaking up and sharing it. That's the first step, right there. So let me just read this again. Number 4 is speaking up to certain people in my family is that I will forever be shunned. Okay, so there's this fear going on that if you say something, if you say the way you're feeling, that your family is going to shun you. And right, that goes back to way back to caveman days. I remember doing a presentation about fear and saying that one of our deep-rooted fears is that we're going to be kicked out of our tribe or our clan, or we're going to be rejected. And that feels like death to us at the end of the day. So the fear that you're feeling is very real right now. Okay. So I'm curious of Leslie, what exactly is it that you want to speak up and to say to your family, first of all? Let's get clear around that. So what is it that you want to say? So remember that's number 3 in our formula. Say what you need to say. Who else? I would love to hear from the people who are on right now and watching. So going back to the questions. So where are you currently not speaking up in your life? And what's the number one fear holding you back from saying what you really need to say? I want to hear from you. And my next question is, how would you like to feel and appear when speaking up? How would you like to feel and appear when speaking up? I put for this one, I would like to feel confident, calm, in control, and not let my emotions get the best of me. Because a lot of times I will cry when I speak up. This just happened a couple weeks ago. And I have to remember that it's okay to cry. My coaches have been helping me work through that. And it is. It's okay to get emotional and to cry. But I still think there needs to be like some sort of composure. And again, that could be where you practice having the conversation with someone first and you practice writing down what it is that you need to see. It's almost like a speech in a way. Like I'm in Toastmasters right now and I'm going to be giving this icebreaker speech in 30 days. And they told me, they're like, you need to rehearse the speech. You need to practice with yourself in front of the mirror or practice with a friend or with a coach. So it is important to know that it's okay to get emotional. It's okay to cry. I personally, I can't stop it. It's happened my entire life. I think it's always going to happen, but you can prepare. And I think it is important to prepare. Okay, number 5. Inside of a conversation, what are you responsible for? And what are you not responsible for? I'd love to hear from you as well. Inside of a conversation, what are you responsible for and what are you not responsible for? I put, I am responsible for saying what I want to say to honor my needs. I am not responsible for how the other person reacts or responds. Exactly. And when you know that, it just makes it so much easier. So much easier, right? Yes. So what are you responsible for inside of the conversation and what are you not responsible for? Let me know. We're almost done. And then the next one is, where do you feel most powerful when expressing yourself? Where do you feel most powerful when expressing yourself? For me, I told you earlier, it's writing. Writing is when I feel most powerful, and that's why I write a lot of Facebook posts. So it's important to know that ahead of time. Where do you feel most powerful when expressing yourself? And I like having, I'm not a react in the moment, which is good actually. I do like having time to collect my thoughts as well and write them down and then share them with an outside party first before I go to the person. Okay, number 7, what are you not available for anymore when it comes to speaking up? What are you not available for anymore when it comes to speaking up? And I put, I am not available for compromising on my wants and needs to make the other person feel better. I've done that for far too long and I'm not available for that anymore. All right, 2 more questions. What's one action you're committed to taking moving forward from today? What's one action you are committed to taking moving forward? What's one action you are committed to taking moving forward from today? Okay, good, Leslie. You said, I wish I could just get them all in one room and just tell them that they have no idea how rough it was for me growing up with two other siblings and me being the middle child. I have been ignored and pretty much left on the back burner my entire life. I'm so sorry to hear this, Leslie. That sounds like that has been very painful for you. So when I left home to be with my husband was when my family started treating me different and telling me I need to visit often and that they have money and time issues as their excuse. But then they have the money and time to go different places and buy expensive things, but can't spend a weekend with me and my husband's then. That sounds like that must hurt. You can imagine. And again, thank you for being vulnerable and honest here. And okay, so I like that. So your wish is you want to have them all in one room and you want to share with them. It sounds like you want to tell them, like, this has really hurt me and this has upset me. Have you ever tried that before? Have you shared with them how you're feeling? And you might not be able to have all of them together in one room, but maybe you could start with one person. And I'm curious who that one person would be. Hi, Brian. Welcome. I've always felt the need to please them, and I don't want to do that anymore. Great. Good. You're not available to please them anymore. That's powerful. Saying that out loud or typing it. Yeah. What else are you not available for? Everyone watching, what are you not available for? This is a powerful statement. Like when I get in my fuck it moment, I am like, I am not available for this anymore. Like I said, I am not available for compromising my wants and needs to make the other person feel better. So the question number 8 was, what's one action you're committed to taking moving forward from today? And mine was, after I experience an interaction with someone that could result in a difficult conversation, I will pause and ask myself, what am I feeling? What do I need? And then find the courage to share with the person in a way that feels best for me. So that's what I commit to doing. All right, number 9 is, what resources or support do you have or can you create to become more empowered with speaking up? What resources do you have or can you create to support you with speaking up? I was talking with a client about this today, is we have access to so many resources, and a lot of times we don't either know how to use those resources or we don't do anything with them. So what resources do you currently have, or what resources do you want to create to help you support you with speaking up more? So for me, I have my coaches in Inner Glow Circle, I have the mastermind in Inner Glow Circle, and what else did I put? I said I wouldn't be where I'm at today without them. They have helped me so much to help me to honor my wants and my needs and to express myself. And I'm so grateful for them. So that's why working with a coach can be so powerful, because they help you to explore, you know, why aren't you able to speak up in your life? Why aren't you able to have these powerful conversations? Like, what's missing here, and what's holding you back? What's the fear getting in the way? Or is there a lack of feeling worthy? I've tried to, okay, let's see. So I've tried to tell them this over the phone, and all I get is, that's not true, and you know it, and you were always loved and cared about. And they get defensive, and so I just stay isolated and quiet, and I don't go on Facebook or on my phone at all for days. Okay, so it has, yeah, it sounds like that you've tried to speak up and you've told them before, so I commend you for doing that. Is there another way that you could try to communicate with them that you would think differently? Have you tried like in person, or have you tried writing a letter to them? And sometimes too, you can communicate to someone over and over again, and it might just not sink in. Like, for example, with my mom, I've tried to communicate to her and have multiple conversations with her that I believe in open relationships. I support them. I want them for myself. And it can't get through her mind. And so I've just accepted that we're going to agree to disagree. And it hurts because I want her to be on the same page with me. I want her to just, she doesn't have to want it for herself, but I just want her to, like, I want to be seen and heard and felt and acknowledged. And again, Leslie, this goes back to maybe you guys don't have the same values. And when the same values aren't there, it's really hard to navigate those conversations and to grow together. Hi, Thea, welcome. It has literally gotten to the point where I've gone on meds for anxiety and depression because I just couldn't take it. I have finally come to realize, fuck it, I can't afford to care about that stuff anymore because it's messing me up mentally. Yeah, whoo, oh my goodness, girl, wow. And another thing too is if you've tried over and over again, and if people aren't respecting you and you've tried to have the conversation in multiple ways, and maybe brought in a mediator and maybe worked with a coach, and you've really thought and written out about what you say, like, place your time and energy into people who do value what you do and who are going to listen to you. And I know when it's family, that's so hard and it can be so hurtful. But at the end of the day, you've tried. It sounds like you've tried everything you can do. And so, yeah, I love what you're saying is, like, you're having a fuck it moment and you want to start placing your time and energy for the people who are showing up for you right now, right? And I had this happen recently. There's a woman that I'm not getting along with very well in my life, and it's been stressing me out a lot because I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to like me. And she said, Krista, you may just have to move on. It sounds like you've tried to communicate with her in different ways. She's not responding back. Why don't you place your time and your energy on people who are going to respond back nicely and treat you well and respect you? And I was like, you're right. Why would I waste my time and my energy on someone who's not treating me well and is not listening? So again, placing your fucks where they matter. Hi, Jackie, welcome. Well, Leslie, is that something you're interested in doing? Are you interested in trying other forms of communication? All right, and let's get to our last one. Oh, so we already did that. What resources or support do you have to become more empowered with speaking up? So think about what you have access to or what you can create that's going to allow you to speak up. You have this now as a resource. You have the worksheet that I made for you. That's a powerful resource to have. Hi. Jackie, I'm so happy that you're here. So we are actually at the end of our show tonight. Oh my goodness, 48 minutes. So thank you everyone for being here. And I forgot to say at the beginning that this show is actually sponsored by my group program that's starting January 7th, Living Beyond the White Picket Fence. And this is a 12-week transformational program. I have space for 12 women. And this is actually module 3 that we went over tonight. So on that module, we're going to create space for you to show up with the areas in your life where you're not speaking up more. And I'm going to help coach you through that. I'm going to help you to create a plan and to help you to feel more confident and prepared with having these difficult conversations and navigating them, because this is a huge part of life and it's not ever going to stop. And we can't be constantly running away from them or ignoring them or shutting down our voice. It's time as powerful women and creators to start really speaking up. So that's why I'm so excited about this group program. And I wanted to talk about it tonight and give you a little sneak peek of what module 3 is going to be about. So it's going to be all about helping you to really stand in your power, stand in your truth, own who you are, be able to clearly communicate and express your wants, your needs, your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, And when you can start to respect yourself in that way, people are going to respect you so much more and treat you better. But it all starts with how you treat yourself first. That's the huge part. So if you don't respect yourself, if you don't take yourself seriously, then no one else is going to either. So I would love to be able to help you with that in this group coaching program. So Mary is going to attach the link for that. Again, it starts January 7th. It's going to be Monday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern for 90 minutes. There'll also be a private Facebook group. You're going to get paired with an accountability partner as well. And we're going to help you to create just this amazing life that feels good. It's on your own terms. And we're going to also help to work through shame and fear and all the other emotions that can be maybe holding us back in life. Okay, cool, Leslie. You said you'd be up for other forms of communication, maybe of video chatting. Thank you so much, Christopher. I remember you being, yes, I was your yoga instructor. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? I used to, if you're wondering, I used to live in Hawaii when I was married. My husband was a military nurse. So that's where I met Leslie. Okay, and we're gonna do our drawing. So we're gonna give away a Starbucks gift card. So for everyone who's on right now live, can you type in the comment section, Starbucks? Okay, this is how we're gonna enter you into the drawing. So type in the word Starbucks if you're still here. And it's just our way of saying thank you for being on the live. And we are going to make, if you win, if Mary picks your name, we're going to mail you a Starbucks gift card so that way you can get your caffeine on, get all your Christmas shopping done, and have a fabulous Christmas season. Okay, Jackie's here, Starbucks, perfect. Who else is here? Leslie, are you still here? Colleen, are you still here? Thea? Let us know who's still here. And while we're waiting for everyone to tell us who's still here, let me know what was the most useful thing for you today. Okay, Leslie's still here, cool. What was the most useful thing for you today? Okay, we've got Jackie, we've got Leslie. Anyone else? Who's on still watching? We want to send you a Starbucks gift card today for watching and being here and participating. I wish that it said the names. All it shows is like the little 4 up in the corner with the eye. Yep, I see you, Leslie. Okay, let's okay, Mary, so we have Jackie and Leslie, so let's do them right now. So if you can put their names in the thing that you were telling me about. So that way we can choose, we can find a winner. Woo! Thanks everyone for being here. The most useful thing for me was feeling better about speaking up to my family. Good. It sounds like maybe you're going to try a video chat. Video chat can be really powerful. Absolutely. Sometimes people, we say this in sales training, sometimes people have to hear things 7 different times in 7 different ways before they make a decision to purchase. So it can be the same thing with having these conversations. Maybe you have to try it in, different forms with different messages before it really, like sinks in. Oh, Jackie, you're sweet. Well, we'll see. Mary, let us know who is going to get it. And Jackie, you're here at the end. So, Jackie, how is your coaching business going? So, Jackie is a coach for new moms because she's a new mom herself. So, I'd love to hear what's been new in your coaching business. All right, Leslie is the winner. Woohoo! Awesome, Leslie. Okay, we'll message you after this is over and we'll get your address and we're going to mail you a Starbucks gift card. So thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate you. All right, thank you everyone. You're incredible, and don't forget to check out my group program starting January 7th. I would love to invite you in. I only have 12 spaces open, and make sure to join me every Thursday night here at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we're gonna do coaching and we're gonna talk about really cool shit and things that are gonna help you to navigate life better and to do it on your own terms. So, all right. Oh, you said, Jackie, I recently pivoted to serve moms in business. All right, I love hearing that. That's beautiful. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a good night. Bye.